2, 1, and we're live. Welcome to the Trails Radio Show. It is Saturday, 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, and today I have a very special guest, Mr. Glenn Hoeffner. Hi, how are you?
Hello, and thank you for calling me.
You're welcome. Are you ready for questions I'm about to ask you?
I will answer them to the best of my willingness. Mayor.
Okay. First question. How did you get started in acting?
It came natural because my parents were both musically involved in St. Louis, Missouri, where I was born.
Mm-hmm.
And mother was a piano player and father was a singer.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow I caught the bug of singing and performing when I was a young person like you.
Mm-hmm.
And it started when I was in schools as a singer. And then as time went on, I graduated and then started getting involved in community theater work.
Mm. All actors start in theater, don't they? They have to get their start in theater usually.
Everybody needs to start somewhere, somehow. I was scared, I was insecure, but I figured the only way I can get over that insecurity and the fear was to get out of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm on stage, I'm not Glenn. I'm somebody else.
You're the character.
Say again?
I said you're the character. When you're on stage, you're the character.
Baby, am I a character or am I a character? I've done homeless, I've done crazy, I've done Santa Claus, I've done street bums, and I love getting my feelings out into the other characters.
Mm-hmm.
And that way I don't have to think that were comparable to the character that I'm portraying.
Mm-hmm.
And I either multiply or divide my own experiences to perform the person or the character that I'm playing.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the films you've been in. You mentioned yesterday a documentary called The Kingdom of David.
The documentary of what now?
The Kingdom of David. You played Moses.
Kingdom of David, the saga of the Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
I portrayed Moses in that role.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I had no dialogue in that movie,
mm-hmm.
I had to visually portray what the director was wanting from me.
Mm.
And even though it was in the Death Valley area, I had never walked on hills like I had to do for that film. But in order to portray visually, I had to be emotionally there without overdoing it.
Yeah.
And not underplaying it either, because it was a very valuable role for that film, Kingdom of David.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know when I auditioned that it would come through and be a success.
Yeah.
There were 35 other people that submitted headshots for that role. But they picked me, and I was so grateful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the biggest thing I learned in my film making and theater, there's no small parts.
Yeah.
Only small-brained actors.
That's very true.
And I don't need to have the lead in any production to be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I learned to make the most with the least.
Mm-hmm.
Does that come through to you?
Yes, it does. Yes, sir.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Other movies and... Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was just going to ask you, what do you have next for me, Doctor?
I was going to say other movies you've been in was one of my favorites, The Encounter.
The Encounter?
Yes.
Right?
And you played a homeless man in that The Encounter, and you said you got soaked wet and you were in the pouring rain.
It was pouring rain. It was on the movie studio lot, and they used real cold water. They didn't heat it up for me. They didn't give me special treatment. But here I am laying in this downpour water after getting clobbered by the car. And I couldn't break the character. I had to speak from the heart from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw that movie, right?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I like it. It's a touching story.
Mine too. And it tells a lot of life stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I still get goosebumps when I remember what I went through to get that part.
Mm-hmm.
I auditioned, and they put me through the paces,
mm-hmm.
and then a day later I got a phone call that I've been cast, and I said, let's go, let's do it.
Yeah.
Because it covers so much of life, as maybe you've been through and you're involved in with your radio station.
Yeah.
So that's why when this came through from you, I was ready. For someone that saw my encounter, and it's your favorite, that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And there again, it shows me I never know who we can reach by reaching out. Whether it's the lead, or a bit part, or a walk-on, or just being here for somebody when they are learning. I'm still learning. I'm not dead yet. And somehow I was 81 years old this past year.
Congratulations.
And I know you can't relate to that. You're young and handsome and no gray hair that I can see anyway. And you look great when you blush. So yes, that role in that film, I have kept contact with the writer and the director for quite a while, but they're not doing anything anymore, which to me is a loss. I would love to do another role like that.
Yeah.
It was challenging, but so rewarding at the end results when I saw it screen.
Yeah. One of my
watching you right now. Say again?
One of my other favorite movies you were in was the Beyond the Wall of Sleep.
Beyond the Wall of Sleep. Oh, spooky. Spooky. I was kind of a off-center person in that film, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were a crazy person in that one.
Well, that's pretty doggone honest of you, young man. You picked up what I was putting down. I was told to be crazy, and I just pushed my little buttons on when I was crazy, and then I multiplied it and divided it, and then the director would say, no, tone it down, or they would say, go over the top, and when they told me to go over the top, I went crazy. And that's the result that I would get. The giggles, the laugh, because we've all been crazy at one time.
Yeah, in real life or in a movie.
I'm hitting a button, aren't I? And that's okay to be crazy. It lets out the steam, doesn't it?
Yeah, just don't go too overboard in real life.
Right. Just don't go, we don't have to go punching holes in walls or shooting guns to go crazy. And just to have you smile and laughing is a bonus for me. Because, and I played Santa Claus.
Yes, that was another one of my favorite movies. You played Santa Claus in, it was a dark comedy movie called Coming to Town.
Right, Coming to Town. That was another independent school project. And they even let me use my own beard in that one. And getting out of myself and enjoying the role of all things Santa Claus.
Yeah.
So I've learned to be as wide open and versatile as I can.
Yeah.
Because the right